So we will be presenting first the objectives, then the background, and the salient features of this circular. So the objectives of this is to ensure that the stakeholders will be apprised and updated with the pertinent provisions of these new policies or circulars, and to provide an effective and seamless implementation of the same. And as to their background, these circulars had been crafted for the following reasons. This was revised. These circulars were revised for the deck and engine ratings. Secondly, alignment with the requirements of the STCW Convention and include the senior high school TVL maritime track. And we need to craft two circulars, one for the deck and another for the engine rating. Also, this circular was formulated to come up with a unified policy on assessment and certification for all the deck and engine ratings under the STCW Convention 1978 as amended. Doing so will provide a common system or procedure for the following: assessment processes, processing of the COP under the MARINA online system, expedite processing, verification, replacement, and the format of the COP or Certificate of Proficiency, fees and charges, penalties, among many others. The features of the circular. First, we discuss the title. We have actually two on your left side of the screen is the title of for the deck ratings. It's revised mandatory minimum requirements for the assessment of competence and certification of ratings forming part of a navigational watch or RFPNW and ratings as able seafarer deck under regulations 24 and 25 respectively of the STCW Convention 1978 as amended. On your right, we have the engine ratings, revised mandatory minimum requirements for the assessment of competence and certification. Anyway, on the right side of the screen, we have the engine ratings, revised mandatory minimum requirements for the assessment of competence and certification of ratings forming part of an engineering watch, that's RFPEW, and ratings as able seafarer engine in a manned engine room or designated to perform duties in a periodically unmanned engine room, and electro-technical ratings under regulations 34, 35, and 37 respectively of the STCW Convention 1978 as amended. Under the coverage, section 2 on the left is the coverage for the deck ratings under regulation 24 and 25, while on the right is on engine ratings under regulation 34, 35, and 37. So it says here for the deck, the circular shall apply to all candidates for assessment of competence and certification of ratings forming part of a navigational watch and ratings as able seafarer deck on a seagoing ship of 500 gross tonnage or more. So prior, when we were still actually deliberating on this, initially we wanted to have our seafarers limit only to those who are members or other national citizens of those who are party to the STCW Convention. But after a thorough deliberation, it was agreed that seafarers of any nationality who have completed the approved maritime education and training in the Philippines and has passed the assessment of competence and have met the requirements for certification under this circular may also apply for certificate of proficiency under regulation 24 and 25 of the STCW Convention 1978 as amended. That's for the deck ratings. The same with the engine ratings under 3.4, 3.5, and 3.7. So that's on ratings forming part of an engineering watch, able seafarer engine, and electrotechnical ratings. Next slide, please. Under the general provisions, under Section 8, for purposes of this circular, the administration shall implement the assessment of competence using laboratory tools, equipment, and or simulator as the methods of practical assessment guided with assessment scenarios or functions and the corresponding competence to be assessed. Under Section 11, the practical assessment shall be conducted by the Marina Accredited Assessment Centers, or ACs, and Marina Accredited Competency Assessor, or assessors, under the supervision and authority of the administration. Under Section 12, the STCW mandatory education and training courses required for the assessment of competence and issuance of COP under this circular shall be taken only from schools and or maritime training institutions offering accredited programs and training courses respectively. By the way, the certificate of proficiency issued under this circular has no expiration. Under Section 13, MTIs or MHEIs or schools offering accredited programs for ratings that are at the same time accredited as ACs are prohibited from conducting practical assessments to their own trainees, students, or graduates for purposes of qualifying for the issuance of any certificate mandated under this circular. This provision has been adopted before. Example, under MCSC number 2018-08, 2018-09, 2022-03, and the rationale behind is to preserve the integrity of the assessment process by prohibiting the ACs from influencing the results of the candidates which may be subject to abuse. I think this has already been the practice before. Next slide, please. So let's discuss first on the deck ratings. Let's move on to the next. So under Regulation 2.4, that's ratings forming part of a navigational watch on seagoing ships of 500 gross tonnage or more. Every candidate for certification shall, under 1.1, be not less than 18 years of age. Under the convention, it says 16, but we decided to make it 18 because you cannot get a seaman's book unless you are 18 years of age. So, inalign na namin ito dito. So, kung ilagay natin dito yung 16, so kahit qualified ka na, hindi ka pa rin makakasakay kasi hindi ka makakuha ng seaman's book unless you are 18 years of age. So, lahat po dito, the minimum age requirement is 18. Under 1.2, as a valid medical certificate from DOH, accredited medical hospital, or clinic prescribed under Regulation 1.9 and conducted by an accredited medical practitioners of the DOH. So that's under DOH Marina Joint Circular number 1, series of 2022. Under 1.3, kindly flash it. Have completed the special training either pre-sea or onboard ship approved by the administration, including seagoing service of not less than 2 months, which shall be associated with navigational watchkeeping functions and involve the performance of duties carried out under the direct supervision of the master, the officer in charge of the navigational watch, or a qualified rating. Special training could be any of the following. Kindly flash the next slide. So we have 4 pathways po here. Number 1, You may opt for approved training for ratings forming part of a navigational watch, leading to a certificate of completion. Or number two, completed classroom instruction. That's CCI in BSMT. So ito po yung wala pang onboard training. Naka-complete na siya ng ano, pero in the absence of the onboard training. Number three, completed the enhanced port level program for marine deck. So that's ESL PMD, which shall only be acceptable until 31st December 2025. So may document po tayo dito. And number four, senior high school TVL maritime track in an accredited school. Next slide, please. And so meron pa tayong isa pala dito. Shall meet the standards of competence specified in Section A 2/4 of the STCW Code by passing the MARINA prescribed assessment of competence for ratings forming part of a navigational watch on seagoing ship of 500 gross tonnage or more. So lahat po ng ratings under these two circulars must undergo the standard of competence specified. Depende kung anong rating po yung nagbibilong. So may kailangan pumasa po ng MARINA prescribed assessment of competence. As you will learn later on as we progress. So next slide, please. Under Regulation 25, ratings as able seafarer check on seagoing ships of 500 gross tonnage or more. So every candidate for certification shall, under 2.1, be not less than 18 years of age, the same as that of the previous regulation. Under 2.2, has a valid medical certificate from DOH accredited medical hospital or clinic prescribed under Regulation 19 and conducted by the accredited medical practitioners of the DOH, the same as before. Under 2.3, have met the requirements for certification as ratings forming part of a navigational watch on a seagoing ship of 500 gross tonnage or more. So in short, this is a prerequisite to Regulation 25. So under 2.4, why qualified to serve as a ratings forming part of a navigational watch on a seagoing ship of 500 gross tonnage or more, the candidate for certification shall have approved seagoing service in the deck department of, next slide please, not less than 18 months, that's one pathway, or not less than 12 months and has completed an approved training and education in any of the following. Next slide, please. So we have 4 pathways for here. One, ratings as able seafarer deck with a certificate of training completion from an accredited maritime training institution. Or two, completed the approved Bachelor of Science in Marine Transportation Program. So ito ay may onboard training na po. 3, completed classroom instruction in BSMT and the following modules in ratings as able seafarer deck course. So we have 3 additional modules that are required here. Module 4, contribute to the safe operation of deck equipment and machinery. Module 5, apply occupational health and safety precautions. And module 8, contribute to shipboard maintenance and repair. Or number 4, completed the enhanced support level program for marine deck or ESL PMD. It shall only be acceptable until 31st December 2025. It shall be required to submit completion of module 8, contribute in shipboard maintenance and repair and ratings as able seafarer deck course. Next slide, please. Under 2.5, meet the standard of competence specified in section A 6/2-1 for survival craft and rescue boat of the STCW code. Before, this was not required, but as per discussion and deliberation, nakita namin ito na kailangan pala itong SCRB. So, linagay na namin to dito. Then, we have 2.6, meet the standards of competence specified in Section A2/5 of the STCW Code by passing the MARINA prescribed assessment of competence for ratings as able seafarer deck on a seagoing ship of 500 gross tonnage or more. Next slide, please. So let's move on to diretso na natin ito. Engine ratings. We start with 3/4, and that's ratings forming part of an engineering watch in a manned engine room or designated to perform duties in a periodically unmanned engine room on a seagoing ship powered by main propulsion machinery of 750 kilowatt propulsion power or more. So it says that every candidate for certification shall, under 1.1, be not less than 18 years of age. Under 1.2, same, as a valid medical certificate from DOH accredited medical hospital or clinic prescribed under Regulation 19. And the same as before. Under 1.3, have completed a special training either pre-sea or onboard ship approved by the administration, including seagoing service of not less than 2 months, which shall be associated with engine room watchkeeping functions and involve the performance of duties carried out under the direct supervision of a qualified engineer officer or a qualified rating. Special training could be any of the following. Next slide, please. So we have 4 pathways. First, you may opt for approved training for ratings forming part of an engineering watch in a manned engine room or designated to perform duties in a periodically unmanned engine room leading to a certificate of completion, or 2, completed classroom instruction in BS-MARE. Again, ito ay wala pang onboard training. Number 3, completed the enhanced support level program for marine engineering, so ESL-PME, which shall only be acceptable until 31st December 2025. Or number 4, senior high school, TVL maritime track in an accredited school. Next slide, please. Under 1.4, shall meet the standards of competence specified in Section A 3/4 of the STCW Code by passing the MARINA prescribed assessment of competence for ratings forming part of an engineering watch in a manned engine room or designated to perform duties in a periodically unmanned engine room on a seagoing ship powered by main propulsion machinery of 750 kilowatt propulsion power or more. Next slide, please. So under Regulation 3/5, that's ratings as able seafarer engine in a manned engine room or designated to perform duties in a periodically unmanned engine room on a seagoing ship powered by main propulsion machinery of 750 kilowatt propulsion power or more. So every candidate for certification shall, under 2.1, be not less than 18 years of age. Under 2.2, same, should have a valid shall have a valid medical certificate from DOH accredited medical hospital or clinic. Under 2.3, have met the requirements for certification as RFPEW in a manned engine room or designated to perform duties in a periodically unmanned engine room on a seagoing ship powered by main propulsion machinery of 750 kilowatt propulsion power or more. Under 2.4, while qualified to serve as ratings forming part of an engineering watch in a manned engine room or designated to perform duties in periodically unmanned engine room on a seagoing ship powered by main propulsion machinery of 750 kilowatt propulsion power or more, the candidate for certification shall have an approved seagoing service in the engine department of. We have two pathways po here, uh, not less than 12 months or not less than 6 months and has completed an approved training or education in any of the following. Kindly, okay. So we have four pathways here for letter B. First, ratings as able seafarer engine with a certificate of training completion of an accredited maritime training institution, or number two, completed approved Bachelor of Science in Marine Engineering or BS MARE program, or you may opt for number three, completed classroom instruction in BS MARE and the following modules in ratings as able seafarer engine in a manned engine room or designated to perform duties in a periodically unmanned engine room course. So we have three modules here in addition to CCI. So we have module 5, contribute to operation of equipment and machineries. Module 7, contribute to shipboard machinery, maintenance and repair. And module 8, contribute to the handling of stores. Or you may opt for number 4, completed the enhanced support level program for marine engineering or ESLPME, which will only be acceptable until 31st December 2025. Next slide, please. And lastly, for Regulation 3.5, under 2.5 shall meet the standards of competence specified in Section A 3/5 of the STCW Code by passing the MARINA prescribed assessment of competence for ratings as able seafarer engine in a manned engine room or designated to perform duties in a periodically unmanned engine room on a seagoing ship powered by main propulsion machinery of 750 kilowatt propulsion power or more. Next slide, please. Next, we have under Regulation 3/7, that's electrotechnical ratings on a seagoing ship powered by main propulsion machinery of 750 kilowatt propulsion power or more. So every candidate shall, under 3.1, be not less than 18 years of age. Under 3.2, just the same, has a valid medical certificate from DOH accredited medical hospital or clinic. And number 3, have completed. Please flash the next slide. We have two pathways po here under the regulation. Meron tayong tatlo. But as per discussion, we only considered two pathways. So every candidate for certification shall have A, approved seagoing service, including not less than 12 months training and experience. The training experience shall be recorded in an onboard record of training and experience for ETR, referred to Annex A. This will be discussed in greater detail by, I think, Sir Ronald later on. Duly validated by the Chief Engineer Officer of the ship and attested by the master and shipping company, local manning agency, official representative. And we have for letter B, approved training for electro-technical ratings, including an approved seagoing service, which shall not be less than 6 months. Then, and we flash the next slide, please. We have 3.4 under Regulation 3-7 shall meet the standards of competence as specified in Section A 3-7 of the STCW Code by passing the MARINA prescribed assessment of competence for electrotechnical ratings on a seagoing ship powered by main propulsion machinery of 750 kilowatt propulsion power or more. So, sa lahat po ng ratings dito, dapat po maipasa nila yung MARINA prescribed assessment of competence. Next slide, please. Who is qualified to undertake the OBRTE? So only applicants with any of the following credentials are qualified to undertake the OBRTE. A, has completed a bachelor's degree either in electrical engineering, electronics and communications engineering, electronics engineering, marine engineering, and industrial technology major in any of the following: electrical, electronics, or instrumentation. B, has a valid license as registered master electrician from the Professional Regulation Commission, or has completed the technical and vocational education and training or TVET with specializations either in electrical, electronics, and industrial technology major in electrical, electronic, or instrumentation. Next slide, please. As I've said, this will be discussed in great detail by Sir Ronald. Pero pasadahan ko lang ito saglit. Registration for issuance and validation of OBRTE for electrotechnical ratings. Step 1, printing of OBRTE. First, you have to visit the MARINA STCW website at www.marina.gov.ph. Then you have to click the link OBRTE. That's loadable po yung form. Then you have to print the OBRTE in a quality legal size paper. Step 2, registration and issuance of OBRTE, evaluation of duly accomplished OBRTE. So 1, proceed to MARINA STCW Office Examination and Assessment Division. Hindi kayo didiretso po sa Board of Examiner na office Doon kayo sa Examination and Assessment Division for registration of your OBRTE. Once na ma-download po yan. Then, evaluation of submitted documents, printed OBRTE, endorsement letter from shipping manning agency, contract of employment, or affidavit of undertaking from shipping manning agencies, transcript of records, valid PRC license, that or another one, and technical and vocational education and training or TVET. Number 3, orientation for filling up the OBRTE. And 4, approval and issuance of OBRTE control number. So, bawat OBRTE ay merong control number po yan na tatatakan po ng Examination and Assessment Division. Then number 3, onboard completion of approved OBRTE. Accomplish the approved OBRTE in compliance with relative guidelines and procedures. Step 4, evaluation of duly accomplished approved OBRTE. You have to proceed to MARINA STCW Board of Examiners. Dito na yung BOE office. You have to present to the Board of Engine Ratings the below supporting documents for evaluation. Duly accomplished, approved OBRTE. Hindi po tatanggapin kung wala pong number yan. And contract of employment, Certificate of Sea Service, original SRB relative to the seagoing service, and certified through copy of crew list. Number 3, validation and approval of OBRTE. Number 4, proceed to application for practical assessment in the MARINA online system. Under specific provisions, Section 17, only candidates who have met the required education and or training, sea service, and medical fitness under this circular shall be qualified to undergo practical assessment. Section 18, a candidate shall be considered to have passed the practical assessment if he or she obtained a score of not less than 70% in each scenario. Otherwise, the following shall apply. Slide please. So, assuming na-register na po kayo, we have the initial practical assessment. Kindly follow the flow chart. If you have passed the initial practical assessment, a certificate of passing will be issued, and that ends the process. If you fail, a remedial exam will be given. If you pass, certificate of passing will be issued. Again, that ends the process. If you fail, another exam will be given or assessment will be given, and that's removal. Then if you pass, a certificate of passing will be issued. That ends the process. If you fail, retake na naman po ang kukunin po ninyo. If you pass, then certificate of passing will be issued. Again, that ends the process. If you fail, then you have to go back to square one, wherein you have to take again the initial practical assessment. So the cycle continues until such time that you have passed the assessment, practical assessment. The definition for remedial, removal, and retake ay nasa definition of terms po yan. This will be explained further. Great detail by, if you have questions from this, Sir Ronald. Section 19, under specific provisions, a candidate who successfully passed the practical assessment shall be issued a certificate of passing the practical assessment and shall be qualified for the issuance of COP. Again, under the convention, wala pong expiration and certificate of proficiency po niyo dito. Medyo mahigpit po yung proseso dito. Kasi once you become holder of a COP, wala na pong expiration yan. So under Section 20, applications for assessment of competence and certification of RFPNW and ratings as able seafarer deck shall be filed online by the seafarer through the MARINA online system as detailed in the attachment. Activity under Section 23. This memorandum circular shall take effect 15 days following its publication in a newspaper of general circulation.
Okay, so good morning to our dear friends and colleagues in this industry. I'm Engineer Aldo Hermenildo from the Board of Angel Ratings, and I'm tasked to give you some information regarding the OBRTE. Okay, so the procedures, however, is discussed already by Engineer Denson on how to acquire this OBRTE. So the first one is to download the OBRTE, which is included in the circular website. Okay, download lang po natin siya. And then right after, you have to go to the EAD para po doon sa ating registration para po sa control number. No? And then after that, actually, it is being endorsed to the Board of Engine Ratings for orientation on how to fill up this OBRTE. And then what documents are needed to testify that these tasks included in this OBRTE are done on board ship. Okay, so this is the title of our OBRTE, Electro-Technical Ratings, ETR, Annex A, which is included in our circular. Okay, next slide, sir, please. Okay, so on board record of training and experience under regulation 3/7, the mandatory minimum requirements for certification with technical ratings, paragraph 2.1.1 states that every candidate shall have completed approved seagoing service, including not less than 12 months of training and experience. This OBRT provides the evidence of achieving the required training experience in accordance with regulation 3/7. So actually, in the previous circular po natin, we have only one pathway para doon po sa ating EPR. That is 6 months and a training. But then, after thorough evaluation and consolidation of ideas by the technical working group, we come up with 12 months experience para naman po hindi na mag-undergo that training. Ito po yung kapalit ng training na umaabot ng isang buwan mahigit that costs 200,000 for our seafarers. So with this OBRTE, so madodocument lang po nila yung kanilang training and experience on board, supervised by the chief engineer or the EPO on board. So ma-exempt na po sila sa training and then po pwede na po sila mag-proceed sa assessment kaagad. Okay, sige po. Next slide, sir. So this is how to accomplish the OBRTE. As shown in your screen, makita po natin dyan, you should register here the name of the ship, the flag registry, the type of propulsion, and then yung ating pong onboard service. Okay, so kung kailan po nag-join, kailan po bumaba, yung engine officer or the ETO, yung kanyang pangalan, signature, initials, and then yung COC number niya and his position on board ship. So sa lahat po ng pipirma dito sa OBRTE na ito, dapat po naka-appear yung mga pangalan nila dito. ETO man po siya or the chief engineer na nag-supervise doon sa specific task na ginawa ni ETR, eh dapat pong nakapirma po siya dito. Okay, next slide po. Go. Okay. So this OBRTE is good for 2 vessels, no? Actually kasi po yung mga ETR po natin, sometimes meron lang po silang 6 months on board contract. So not enough para makomplete po yung 12 months. So kung makikita niyo po rito, meron tayong first vessel and second vessel. It means no, kung hindi niya po nagawa yung 12 months sa isang sakay, wala po siyang 12 months contract, so magdadalawang entry po siya rito, no? So kailangan may pirma yung first vessel niya and the same vessel. Even though the task is the same, so kailangan lang pong pirmahan yung first vessel and second vessel. So all of the tasks and competence and KUPs included in this OBRTE is crafted from the STCW Convention 3/7 table. So doon po natin kinuha lahat po ito. Okay? Sige po. Next slide po. Sige po. So until 8 competences po yan, imimit nila. So ito po yung explanation table. Actually, yung ating procedure is included also in this OBRTE. So kung makita po natin dito, may mga asterisk, no, na nakikita tayo sa taas. So in every task, we recommend or we suggest to get an evidence, a documentary evidence or a photo evidence or both para po i-testify yung kanilang trabaho doon sa barko na nagawa talaga nila, no? So kailangan po naman ng picture. Ayan, o kaya yung kanilang mga permits na ginagamit or any documents that supports the task. Okay po, sige po. Next. And kung papansin niyo yung attestation po natin na hindi naman po din nawala. The attestation is included in the last part of this OBRTE. Okay? So, attestation for the provisions of ETR, the first vessel, the second vessel. So, dalawa rin po ito. Meron first and second vessel. Yung dalawang beses sasakay. Nakasulat po dito, this is to attest that the bearer, Mr. residing at, holding the Philippine SRB number, has served on board vessel, kung kailan po siya sumakay at bumaba ng ilang buwan, and has undergone tasks and addresses the competences stated in Table 37 of STCW Code as amended. And then ito po ay ibabalidate ng ating chief engineer which ship stamp and his license number or SRA number attested by the master of the ship, including his name and the license number. And also, this is attested also by the shipping company or local manning agency representative with a dry seal. So palagay po natin hindi na to yung madadaya, no? Kasi tatlo na po yung ating signatory. And then afterwards, after presentation of this OBRTE to the Board of Engine Ratings, no? I-evaluate po namin yan at kami naman po yung mag-a-approve kung talaga po itong totoo na nagawa doon sa barko. Okay? May next pa ba, sir? So yun po, no, merong first vessel and second vessel. So the procedures that been discussed by Sir Boyet ay nandito rin po, no, do sa ating OBRT. Naka-attach din po ito para hindi rin po maligaw yung ating candidates, yung ating seafarers, yung ating ETR, kung paano ipaprocess po yung ating OBRTE. And that's all. Thank you po.